Howdy and happy Monday. We're back here on Monday Market 15, the 15-minute show that takes 30 minutes or whatever. Never on time. We're supposed to start at 2 o'clock. It's about 2:20. So those of you who hung on, I really appreciate it. I know my co-host significantly appreciates it. Her is nothing but phenomenal, the fantastic, the fabulously I was going to say endowed, but...
that sounds weird.
Yeah, she's a couple things. Ashley Miller.
Hey, y'all. I appreciate your patience. We had to take Colby in for his 5th cast for his broken hand.
Great.
So that delayed me about, like 30 minutes. But I will tell you what, we have a phenomenal guest today, so I'm super stoked.
Well, you introduce him. You go for it because this is he is yours in the palm of your hand.
All right.
Oh, she's prepping.
We have Adam Schnepp.
Said it right.
Right. Oh. But we're eliminating the T.
Oh God. Anyway.
Because he is not a part of Snap Farms.
No.
He is part of Bug Science.
Oh boy. So we've veered completely left. How you doing, sir, Mr. Adam?
Doing great.
We've completely gone off the rails, and we're supposed to talk about housing, but
Per usual.
yeah, a little bit. But we are definitely talking about housing today.
Absolutely. We're talking about housing. I mean, most people move here to this great state, and they don't realize that houses are built for the elements. They are not built for bugs here. And so new build, old home, doesn't matter. Everybody has a chance.
And so we brought you on the show today to talk a little bit about home inspections and the termite process because you deal predominantly with termites, right?
Correct. So our backbone is number one, termites. I mean, here in Arizona, it's not if, it's when. So every home gets them. But yeah, I started off in the industry 7-8 years ago doing just termites. And now in April 2020, we started our company, Bug Science, full service, residential, commercial. We kind of do it all, but we pretty much do mostly termite. April
2020 is during COVID, right?
Bingo. So I actually got let go by a certain company that I was really wanting to get on. After 2 months, they just didn't know what to do with me. Wasn't sure about the industry, but I already knew with 5 years experience, pest control is recession proof, and we saw a 38% increase in pest control activity in 2020. So
is that more pests or just people calling because they're at home and finally figuring out they have termites and issues?
More people calling because they're at home, they're seeing stuff. But we also saw a huge influx with, a lot of people don't know in Arizona, roof rats. It was mostly because the schools shut down, restaurants were shutting down, so there was no waste for them to go to. So then they were starting to come to houses.
Oh.
So we saw a huge increase, but that's when we started our company. So we're just starting our 3rd year now. We're on our 5th truck and 5th employee. So
that's actually an incredible analogy because I never thought about that. So roof rats. I didn't think about the restaurant shutting down and how they're relocating, just like everyone's relocating to Arizona.
So what do you think actually brought those roof rats to houses? I mean, just the availability
garbage.
of food?
Well, actually, if you go on Google and you actually look up roof rat population, you will not find Arizona. The reason is because we are not native to them. Back in the 1920s, we started bringing the citrus trees from Mexico and Southern California, which brought them into crates. And so pretty much PV and Arcadia and their citrus trees are what you can thank for our roof rat population here. And now there's communities like DC Ranch,
that's that
McCormick
darn
Ranch.
Arcadia.
You're not allowed to have citrus trees or else you will be fined by the HOA. So
interesting.
You want to talk house? We will talk all about house, guys.
No, and this is very important when as Robert being the real estate agent, and my company does all the paperwork. We do like the boring shit. But Robert goes out, he shows people houses, and all of a sudden they see all these citrus trees. Like my last house had citrus trees, lime, lemon, garden, fig. We actually had nights with the boys where we would do scorpion hunting.
Yeah.
We had the skewers that you usually use for steak and chicken, like kebabs.
Right.
And a black light. And we would go out there and we would just we would kebab them.
Yeah.
I know. God, that sounds so effed up.
I would say Ashley has a black light for other reasons, but I know that.
OMG. Shh.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, those dirty kids, right?
They're so dirty.
But I mean,
Teenagers.
is there a way that people can avoid, or at least before they call you, because obviously the right answer is calling you. Is there ways for them to kind of avoid those things besides not buying? They fall in love with a house with the stupid orange tree or the lime or the lemon tree. They're like, oh my god, I can have lemons every day. But like you're saying, they bring.
Can I
problems.
piggyback on that question? So
You're piggybacking off my. You
I
didn't even
am.
answer my first question.
No, I know, but I'm going to piggyback on that.
Okay.
Are you available for people to call you prior to purchasing a home so you can evaluate it based upon these trees or any of that going up before they even get an inspection?
Absolutely.
All of it.
Absolutely. So, first thing to keep in mind is that, one, if you're looking to purchase property, rental, short-term, long-term, personal, doesn't matter, do not waive the inspection. Get your home inspector, get him out there. But the problem is that a home inspector already has enough to deal with. He's looking at your AC, your roof, your water, everything. It does not hurt to call a pest control guy to come out and do it. Now, keep in mind, 1,600 companies out here. Not everybody is termites. It is a separate license. Not everybody does rodent. They don't want to deal with it. They deal with the hedgehog concept.
Yeah.
So they stick to regular pest control. They won't do specialty things like bed bugs, birds, bees, which we do it all.
So I need you to elaborate on that. And what I want you to say is...
You're telling them what to say?
No, I am, because when I purchased my home, I did buy or pay for a separate termite inspection. But what I did not pay for was a actual bug inspection, because termite was my biggest concern, but I have a brick home.
Correct. So nothing's going to stop a house sale because you have fruit trees. Now, if you get in the attic and you have roof rats and they've chewed through your AC wires, that could stop a house sale. This is why I
That's
love
why
what I
you're
do.
here.
As a termite inspector, I can literally stop a house sale if I wanted to. But I think my biggest thing is explaining to people, don't trust the sellers on that. Go out on your own and get your own guy to do an inspection, because, like I said, home inspectors already have enough to go on. Termites is going to happen on every house, but what we see is 3-6 months later, somebody's bought the house. Now they have termites. Well, no, the inspector said it was fine. Or no, they had a spot treatment. Or no, the seller paid for it. Why do you trust the seller to deal with your biggest investment? Get your own guy. So when you move to Arizona, welcome to the Valley of Bugs.
Yes.
You're going to get a pool guy, a landscaper, and a bug guy. Our core value, or number one, is building relationships, because that's what we see in our industry is you don't even know who comes to your house. He shows up there for 10, 15 minutes and he's gone. For us, it's 30 minutes to an hour per service, understanding entry points, understanding conditions conducive, knowing what can cause them. And then, yes, you can do preventative treatments. Every home here is treated for termites before they're built. Problem is that stuff only lasts about 5-6 years. So I always say, if you're buying a house, especially with these prices now, get a proper termite inspection in there, look through those things, get in the attic, identify what could cause the bugs.
Do you get in the attic?
I do. I like to get in the attics. I used to hate
I
that I
bet
was.
you do.
I used to hate that I was short, and now I'm like, hey, I can fit in these attics, and that 6'5" guy can't.
But what I loved about what you said was that you inspect if the roof rats actually chew through the wires.
So
That's not.
Yeah, no. I actually just recently went to a condo, and they actually found the electrical source on the outside, and they chewed a hole in the bottom of the stucco, chewed through the cable wires, and straight in their attic. Problem is, it's a building of 16 units, and one condo called me. So now, for anybody to approve on getting it properly done, and they have pest control company.
So that leads me to my next question when you brought up HOA. So how do you deal with HOAs? So, and Robert, you can piggyback on this. And I'm going to step away from this
He hasn't even answered my
conversation.
question, so I'm going to piggyback off of your piggyback in a second. That's a very long piggyback,
I know.
But anyway, what was your question, HOA?
No, so with being
I'll
a
get
real
back to
estate
mine.
agent, there's an HOA, and pest control, there's an HOA. Is it the real estate, from the beginning, fruition, real estate agent, pest control, HOA. Okay, now you sell a house. Now there's still an HOA, and they're like, oh, we have our own people. What the hell happens after that?
Really nothing you can do. That's where a lot of business owners like me like to network And if you network with the right people, you get hooked up with the right property management companies, and that's what's going to kind of get you in there.
Well, actually, it's a little dangerous. So
It is. But most of the time, those guys they're trying to keep the lowest rate, so they go with usually cheaper guys, and then they get nailed for all the upcharges. So, oh, you have bugs on the inside. Yeah. Well, that's an extra $35 for that guy. Oh, you have this. That's extra. We like to try to make it more streamless to where it's like one solution for everything. Standard flat price, get it all taken care of. But yeah, it is hard with that. I mean, we can do partial stuff, but really it comes to the property and taking care of all aspects of entry points.
So can I ask my question now? Am I allowed?
Yes.
Okay. So Violet is very like conscientious
I
of like
love Violet. That's Robert's wife. She's amazing.
Pesticides.
Love
She doesn't.
her.
She likes organic stuff. She doesn't like all the chemicals and all that stuff.
Melaleuca.
So that was my first question. Is there certain things that we can do to avoid some of these pests and from coming inside the house? One, just without any kind of chemicals. But then, do you offer, I guess, a more organic or more friendly treatment?
So let me make people very apparent and clear.
I love this.
It is 2022.
Oh,
These products take 10 years to get approved by an EPA. Like, it is not just any blow. It is not 1979. I'm not throwing DDT on you to kill lice. I'm not using chloridane. This
so
stuff
Violet is listening, please.
It's made to kill an insect. It's not made to hurt humans. 75% of our customers have dogs and cats. Never once have had a problem with any kind of pesticide. But people that are like, oh, I'm cautious about chemicals, they just need to understand it's not what my granddaddy used. Like, this stuff is, and the funny thing is, the all-natural stuff is the stinkiest stuff out there. We're talking rosemary oil, garlic oil, thyme oil. I have stuff that's dried blood and black pepper for rabbit.
Smells horrible.
It's the better, the more, and that doesn't kill. It only pushes. It controls, so it repels. So yes, you can plant lavender, mint, rosemary, spearmint around your house, but when you have ants, your cinnamon is not going to take care of them.
Oh, I fucking love you right now.
So there is not most products.
Is it really cinnamon? Is that?
Yeah. So you can use cinnamon. It will get what's going, but it's not going to bring it back to the queen.
Nope.
Right. So when people look at, they're like, oh, this.
I don't like cinnamon.
Well, who do you not like cinnamon? You're
I'm
so
the queen.
un-American. But like everything is now tested so much. It really takes a lot to be properly. But you got to remember, pest control is government and state operated. So every technician is FBI background checked. They have to take a national core test plus a state test. So I can't just hire a guy from Home Depot to go spray your house. It doesn't work like that.
No, from Circle K.
But honestly, Adam, that is a very hit this home because I did not know this.
Yeah.
Please emphasize and hit this home with this.
She literally wants you to hit it home.
So a roofer can hire anybody and put them on your roof. A painter can hire anybody and put them in paint. Landscapers, you probably don't even know who's at your house. Pest control has to be FBI background check, government and state regulated. It's not like any other industries. So you have trusted guys into your house. But that's the thing is where, we do a lot of work with realtors and property managers. Yeah. I usually always have our office ask, are we representing the buyer or the seller? Because we understand the investment difference. Like, you're selling, you don't want to invest a lot more. That's why it frustrates me when you buy a house and 3 months later you have that. Now, keep in mind, homeowner's insurance does not cover any termite.
Nope.
I had a lady 6 months after she bought the house, had 3 termite tubes. She went through 3 different companies, got maybe $200 from each. Her bill was $1,600 to get it treated. So it didn't cover anything.
Well, this is why I am gonna interject. This is why the real estate agent and the bug science guy need to be BFFs.
We need to be in the same car.
But we also understand that if you're selling, you're not looking to invest more, and we get that. I understand that I'm selling. I don't want to put more money in it. I'm buying now, and that's why I always say, why is it the seller's responsibility? Why can't the buyer say, you know what? Take a little bit off the price. Let me hire my guys to do it right, and then we're fine. The other thing to keep in mind is, when you buy a home, how much letters do you get that you just bought a home? You have Here's the thing. You have inherited 6 or 7 warranties. These companies that send you letters have never been to that house, guys. Never. And I'm going to say this again. You buy a house, you will get 6 letters. Those guys have never been there. One thing most people don't know is when it comes to termites, it is listed through Department of Agriculture. Anybody has public records to get all in here. Go on your little laptop.
Oh,
you
let me
can literally
go
to,
there.
Yeah,
to
Robert can pull it up.
TARF, AZ, TARF. That stands for Termite Action Report Form, AZ.com. It's through Department of Agriculture, through the Operations of Pest Management. You can look at any record in the last 5 years of an inspection's been on your house or a full treatment's been on your house. Yeah, I blow people's minds away. They have no idea.
TARF.
TARFAZ.com.
So,
Yep.
Adam, holy
Freak.
effing
I know.
shit.
I'm still trying.
All these
Nobody
things.
knows this. Like,
No.
nobody knows this.
That's why you call a proper guy.
But nobody knows to call. And this is why Robert and I have this podcast every Monday, because it's educational.
Yeah.
Monday Market 15, we're here to educate people. And this is why it always takes us more than 15 minutes, is because people like you come in and you're like, well, I didn't even know TARF was a thing.
Yeah. And the sad
And this
thing
is lucrative. Like, this is so important.
So what we see a lot of is a guy, you'll purchase a home, you won't even know. You'll say, oh yeah, I got this letter from XYZ company. I'm not going to bash anybody today. And you'll think that they've been to your house and they've done termite inspections. But ideally, sorry, that's EDU or GOV.
Oh, that's
I found it.
It's
I found
government,
it.
That's
not
why I-
.com.
that's why I couldn't
Sorry,
find
TARFAZ.gov.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Yeah, I
you can
found it.
actually look at any house on there, but if they
pull it
haven't
up
done
right
a full
there.
treatment, they won't list it. And then it goes to the inspection part. So last year we were
.gov.
seeing interest rates were so low, everybody's refining through, everybody's refining and getting lower rates. Take out the whole name, just put North.
Yeah, so I'm actually like live doing this
We're all
because
showing
I'm
them how
like,
to do it. Public
this
records
is
are
like
amazing.
intriguing. So I know how to pull public records on any sort of house you purchase, who owns it, how long they own it, how much they paid for it, what their interest rate is. I can pull up some like deep, dark, like catfish shit on people, but I didn't know this.
There's your house right there. And let's see, 1, 2, 3
Right,
companies have
wait,
been there
where is
in
my
3
house?
years.
Write this site down.
Wait, is that my house?
So right there it says WIR. That's Wood Inspection Report Form, which is what people want is the
I
MPMA
can't see what you're
33 form. That is your termite inspection report form by the nation for refis, buys, and sells.
working.
This is new news.
This is
We
all
Oh,
are-
yeah, I'm trying to pull it up.
We're going.
like, I wanna see what
I
you
knew
say.
you would throw us through a loop, and that's why when I told Robert this morning, I'm like, "Hey, FYI, I forgot to tell you, I'm having Adam on, and this is gonna be hilarious and fun."
It's TARFAZ.
No, azda.gov.
AZ. Oh,
Department
tarf.azda.gov.
of Agriculture. So that's where a good old Texas boy like me that has his termite classes through Texas A&M
okay.
knows
Write it
more than
down.
anything
Yeah,
else.
write it down.
So that's the thing.
gotcha.
Department of
Trying to pull
Agriculture
trying to pull it up.
runs their whole pest management division. So this
So
isn't.
people have to actually
I'm all
be
excited. I don't even know what they're
licensed?
looking at.
Yep.
No, this is actually super exciting.
This is
because
not John Candy and arachnophobia.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
when
well,
people
there it is.
ask me, we're going on a
Eight-legged
tangent.
freaks.
There's 3 movies I've been afraid of pretty much my entire life: Arachnophobia, Pet Cemetery,
There it is. Jesus.
and The Exorcist.
So,
Exorcist is a great movie.
I'm trying to think of a house.
My house, 14001.
You want people to know where you live?
I don't fucking care. What are they going to do? Stalk me? They probably
sure
already do.
I
I'm
do.
pretty sure your husband's not going to
140.
001 North 37th Street,
7th.
Phoenix. There you go. I want to say if anybody wants to actually like stalk me, I own 5 boys and a security system and a lot of guns.
Do I have to do a
so
start
I
date?
dare them to fucking come into my house. I dare them.
They won't come to your house. They're just going to go on the outside and steal everything on the
Anyway,
outside.
well,
That's
it-
the Arizona
well,
way.
That's fine. Here's the website. So there's an error. I don't know. She's giving
Yeah.
the wrong address or something.
So that's the thing that I want to make sure that anytime an investor looks for a property, and we're looking rentals, the big Airbnbs right
That's the
now, the
website.
short
Yeah.
term, get your inspections done.
Oh no, it tells
So-
me this is actually pretty cool. So it told me who the party was that gave me my inspection, condition, visibility.
So yours says there was no thing, but yes, it'll actually show you the guy, the company, his boss, all their license numbers. So the
Right, but
individual's
where's
license,
the actual
the bosses, and the business
inspection?
license. So that is your inspection. It says you have no visual evidence, but you have conducive conditions.
I want a freaking report.
That is your report, sadly enough. You want
That's
more?
bullshit.
We got to go through state legislation. The commissioner of Department of Agriculture
This is
runs
the
all the
website.
laws. Yep.
That's why this is like legit my report.
Yep.
Okay, so go to tarf.azda.gov and look up your own house and see if there's any termite reports.
Yeah.
I will have to switch over the
know,
conversation
sorry.
a little bit since we're nearing the end of the show.
Tangent.
I know Ashley's just excited about bugs, and I know Adam's
no,
excited
I
about
hate
killing
them.
them. So.
As you can see, I'm very passionate in what I do. That's why I found the love of my life, and it's never work anymore. It's just it's what I do.
Boy.
But if we could wrap up real quick, there's a few things
boy.
that I want to do. So
Get it out of here. Get it out of your
Okay.
system so we can finish.
Bug science. It is a science. 100%. You've named that, and then we'll wrap up with why bug science is a science, and then the market stats, please.
I just totally missed out. What did you want to do?
I want to know why bug science is bug science.
Why bug science? Because we don't want to be the cool kids on the block that don't know what they're doing and act like they can spray your house. It takes a brain, it takes education to really deal with an infestation of learning the biology and the behavior of that insect and make it a game plan of how to get rid of it. Sometimes it's as simple as, hey, Ashley, move this trash can that's overflowing out front, and then we won't have flies get through that window, right? Hey, your AC drip line is causing too much water, which is bringing bugs over. So when we talk pest control, it's physical barriers, chemical barriers, and biological barriers. If we're able to figure all those out, then yeah, but I'm also a huge law of physics. For every up, there's a down. For every yes, there's a no. For every problem, there's a solution. And that's really our goal, is to really figure it out no matter what. So most guys you call, I think I was talking to one guy, he was telling me how you call a company and you have flies, right?
Yeah.
They won't do anything. We have a system. We have
I
a treatment
know.
for everything. we have a way to handle everything because there is stuff out there. But I do want to tell you one of the worst inspections I ever had where they actually foregoed an inspection. Down in Florence, it was a mobile home.
Yeah.
And they actually had a built-in safe in the concrete. So it was an old bank robber house.
Oh.
Yeah, we couldn't get that safe open. We wanted to. So it's a mobile home. It's a manufactured home. They have a crawl space. So a lady bought it down in Florence, passes the home inspection, just buys as is, right?
Yeah.
So we get there, tons of termite damage. We start doing a treatment, and we're underneath, and we have these hard hats on. And every time our head hit the beam, we're getting shocked. To the point where my guy is like, dude, this is unsafe. I want
that's
to get
a
out
little
of
weird.
here. And I'm like, dude, we've already made 2 trips because there was no water. So we had to come down one time, go all the way back because we couldn't do it, filled up the tanks, came back down. So we're getting there, and he's constantly hitting his head, getting shocked. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. So he gets out of the crawl space. I finish it myself. The next day, we had to come back to finish. They had an electrician come out, open up the wall, and no joke, her whole insulation was charred. And literally, if it wasn't for us, they would have had that house on fire.
Yep.
So bought as is, passed the home inspection, found a huge
boy.
electrical issue.
That's
And if
what's going
it
on with my
wasn't
house
for
right
your
now.
bug guy, you would have had a burnt down house.
This is why I love Adam, because we have a huge electrical issue in our house, and if it wasn't for Adam, sure shit, we'd have way more issues. So let's wrap it up with not wrapping up like getting rid of you, but let's do the market. Like,
Well,
actually,
we'll get your take on the Phoenix. So we're here to talk about Phoenix
talk.
housing. So we're going to go to our. Before I do that, I want to send you guys over to bugscience.com. So if you go over there, you can meet Adam and the guys over there at Bug Science. Go and log into bugscience.com. Also, Facebook is really where they get their following from. So if you go to Bug Science, you can find a little bit more information about Bug Science.
Yep.
And Adam and everybody else that works there. So we appreciate you coming in, sir.
I appreciate it.
It comes to the show part where I get to talk a little bit more. Not just Miss Ashley. We love the way she speaks, but people want information too about this housing market, right? Right. That's where I'm at too. So with demand, I there was an article that I sent Ashley. This I'm going to bring it up real quick here. Demand for new housing actually went up in May, which was a little bit of a surprise. So, and this is a national number. So I think people are expecting kind of like this big crash and big shock to the market. But if you read the article, this is from Reuters, but if you read the article, it does talk about an increase in new housing purchases on more of the East Coast, Midwest. There was still a decline here in the South. So you may hear news articles, and we try to be transparent. We try to bring everything up front, but you'll see news articles like this where like you have housing that rebounds in the new housing market, rebound in for May, but really that's regarding a place we don't even live. We live in Arizona, so we're still on a decline. If you read the article, it does talk about that decline a little bit. But that brings me to the next slide.
All right, let's see.
Which is here. Look at remember, we've been following the demand index, Ashley? Every week we look at the
every
demand.
day.
We are now in the red. Demand is
good-ish.
definitely shifting. So buyers are exiting the market more and more so. There is some seasonality there. We do see, like, come June, July, people just kind of leave. They go on vacations if you can afford one. People go on vacations and they're not necessarily looking for housing. So the best times to look for a house are roughly this time, so between the end of June to the beginning of August, as well as November and December, as you can assume that's Thanksgiving and Christmas. So there is a bit of a market cycle there too. But with the demand index, we've been on full steam for the last couple of years. To see this demand index actually go into the red is significant, and something to be noted that if you're a seller out there, and I will tell you, in the last 3 weeks, I've taken on about 3 listings and had a conversation this weekend for 2 more for people selling. So the housing market, the inventory is increasing significantly and the demand is decreasing. So we're edging towards that balanced market. If you look at the market index, which is relatively in the green, which also means a seller's market. We're still in a seller's market, still in seller's environment, but we're closely approaching that yellow, which is a balanced market. Still undersupplied, but we're creeping up there too.
Quick question,
Sure.
Roberto.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think it would be advantageous for a seller to have a pre-inspection done prior to through somebody like Adam from Bug Science? So when a buyer comes in, they already have a full report? Or do you think it would be more comforting for them to hire their own person? What is the psychological position behind
Hire on their own person? Adam's not their person?
Well, let's pretend.
Not everyone yet. But I would recommend you actually wait until more of the process goes through, because then you're doing an inspection on 6, 7 houses that you're interested in, right?
Yeah. You're talking before you make an offer, right? Mm-hmm. I would say make an accepted contract first before you get there. Okay. But really, go back. Right now, we're still kind of in that emotion of hey, I need to make an offer, just submit it in, get it in quickly, otherwise I'm going to lose it. So we're still in that kind of emotion. But in the last 2 months, it's just completely gone the other way. And so I still have buyers that are still kind of the anxious person, hey, let's just submit an offer to see if we get it. Right now, we can take our time. I see listings on market for nearly a month now, and it's driving sellers crazy because they're used to 2 to 3 days and they're off market. It's driving a lot of people crazy, but it's also giving an opportunity for people to buy, but B, to actually think about what they're buying.
So let me echo my comment with a different tonality. Would you suggest, as a real estate agent, if you're a seller agent, to have somebody like Adam come out and give a full report, and Adam, I will direct the later part of this question towards you. Are you able to give somebody, a buyer, a discount, saying, so Robert's I have this buyer and they're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses, that you're able to just come out and do a quick check? Ouch.
I mean, most inspections could take an hour. The biggest thing is, for me, I actually have one of the super keys, so I can actually go into any house as long as I have a CBS code. Most companies don't do that. Okay. But yes, you should want to do that. But kind of like I said, you want to wait for the process to go through, especially with, like you said now, houses were on the market for a day or two. They're getting 5, 6, 10 offers. Everybody's getting outbidded. Now we are seeing more of a balance, and you can take your time, figure out exactly what you like. Not oversell or overprice it.
I was trying to figure out how to
Well, I guess the next question would be how long would it take between that phone call, hey, I need an inspection, termite, bug inspection, between that phone call on average to actually inspecting and getting a report?
24, 48 hours.
So we could essentially wait. So if anybody's out there in their purchase, they do a general inspection typically, and you can deviate and do a little bit more inspection. You don't have to just stick to one inspection. You can have very very strategic and be very
diligent.
Diligent in each section of the home. So you can get an AC guy, you can get a termite guy. Yep. You can get a bunch of different people outside of that general inspection. And if you need to get that, if you're on the cusp of whether or not you're taking it, you can wait closer to the end of that inspection period and order that termite or that bug inspection.
Now, I would definitely tell everybody, don't let a pest or a termite inspection deter you away from your right house. If that's your dream home, there is ways to make it protected against bugs.
Bug
It's just
science.
don't let that. I always love when realtors are like, hey, this house has termites. I don't want to scare away the people. No, don't be scared away. It's okay. Like, it's not California. We're not tenting homes.
Yeah.
It's not Louisiana where your house will drop in 90 days.
Sure.
You have bugs. It's okay. You're in the desert. It will happen. But don't turn away from the right house. Just hire a guy to do your own inspection. Bug science or not, get a reputable company, get someone you trust, say, hey, look, that little boulder section over there is going to cause scorpions. Or that little pile of pallets is going to cause rats. Like,
and you do that, right? You go out to the home and you identify those.
I do a thorough inspection. I kind of look through everything, but a lot of people, when they call for like bugs, they're just looking for a quick price, which is fine. You know, we understand the investment of, hey, it costs what, $8,000 to get a new AC unit?
Yes.
How much did your roof cost? $30,000.
Ish.
So we actually had a house in Scottsdale. They had a Porsche where a rat got in there and ate all the gas line. It was.
I'm not laughing.
It was
I've heard the
it
story.
was like an $18,000 repair. Since the Porsche was in the garage 90% of the time, homeowners insurance covered it.
Yep.
But who would have thought rats in your car kind of thing?
Absolutely.
But it's not something you didn't
I've seen
think
cats.
of until a bug guy comes out and goes, hey, look at this garage door seal. That's not sealed up. And that's where you call Legends Garage to be able to get them to come fix that because it needs to be sealed at some point. And it's a hard thing to do anything with openings like that around the house.
Yeah.
And that's what we see.
Well, Robert and I know, and we do have to wrap up. One of the biggest things with our CEO network and why we have this podcast is all about your community and having the right people on your team.
Yes, and sharing these moments. You know, there's a lot of information, a lot of things out there. We can't be an expert in everything. So you get an expert in an area, such as a pest controller, termites.
Yeah,
and you invite them. You start a podcast and you invite them on the show.
Yeah, I have the body of a plumber, but I'm not good at plumbing. Don't ask
You
me
don't
to
want
plumb
to
it.
see your butt crack.
No.
I can tell you how good at plumbing I am,
you'll
but that's
see
not
that.
for this show.
Let me tell you something about you that you don't know.
It's like when you ask your roofer to go fix your car. Don't deal with that.
Well, that might be a pickle.
Hire your guy that's an expert at that and deal with that. And that's really it. There's tons of guys out here. Most of the companies out here are very good.
Yeah.
Some of the guys take a lot more, but we're all not created equally. Some guys take a lot more passionate. I like my small local business guys, but sometimes calling a bigger company because they're more available happens. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to always get a good guy out there.
I'm going to end this on... No,
Hold on,
I'm going to interrupt.
Oh, God. We got to finish the show.
Adam told me to leave my dog's poo outside for 3 days so he could figure out where the flies came from.
Well, they came from the poo. I'm going to use that to my advantage because that's where they're going to go back. You remove food, they're not coming back. Now I'm going to eliminate them.
No, we did. We moved the food inside and left the poo out, and now we know.
Oh, and the worst one is that, like, I'm literally there doing a treatment, the dog takes a fresh one right next to me. And I'm like, fantastic. This is going to get all the flies to it.
Does anybody want a dog?
Oh, boy. Hey, we got to wrap up the show. I apologize. My anger is exuding. But we are past the half-hour miss. So just to wrap up things a little bit, with the buyers kind of exiting the market, or at least being stable or stagnant. Again, I'll put up the thing right here just to kind of demonstrate, where we're at, where we started earlier this year. We had high demand, low supply. Both indicators are in the green. We definitely had a seller's market, but that is definitely shifting. And as we shift a little bit more, the federal funds rate is anticipated to increase half a point or 3/4 point, if I can get rid of that.
So it was 0.75 I saw.
Yeah, they're anticipated to increase another 0.75 basis points towards the middle of July. So they're definitely, as we approach that, if you're thinking about selling, I mean, honestly, you've missed the mark. If you wanted the highest price possible, that was probably in the middle of May.
This is what we call suck it up, buttercup.
And so at this point, the realization is that, if you're going to sell a house, or you have to, there are a couple families and a couple people I did come across this weekend that do have to sell. You have to anticipate that you're not going to get probably the price that you're seeing on Zillow, or probably the price you saw 3 months ago when it's, $500,000 and your home is at this point worth $450,000. You have to have those realizations and understand that you're going to probably have to bring that price down, especially as we get into the middle of July and continue on to the middle of the year. With that, that's also showing you a little bit here at the peak. This is list price compared to contract price. You can see there it's on a decline. We've been watching this every week too, and I'd say the peak was May 24th. That was your peak. If you're selling now, you're going to have to be, again, faced with a market that is definitely turning into a buyer's market. So, With that said, we are here at the end. Adam, thank you for coming on. I did want to share your website one more time. And I'll let Ashley finish whatever last question she had, because she's just dying at the edge of her seat, and then we'll wrap up with you.
I'm
two.
always on the edge of my seat.
So go ahead, sir.
I always get so super ecstatic when I'm able to have a guest on here that I know there's a certain energy that we get.
Yes.
And Robert is phenomenal, and you're amazing. I wouldn't have us all in the same room if I didn't know that this is where we need to be at this time.
Yeah.
What you do for people and what you've done for me and my family with the attack of the flies and the cockroaches, like that I didn't know it would exist. And what Robert has done for me, you guys are phenomenal people. And the biggest thing that I'm going to end this with is you have to have a team. You have to have your right partners. And being in title is kind of like a job. But what I'm really good at is creating this atmosphere with an amazing real estate agent, amazing bug science guy.
I'm just a bug guy.
So in my phone, he's named as Adam Bedbugs. That's another story.
Can we do it all?
So arm yourself with your...
When did you see his bed bugs? Ashley?
No, he told a story about bed bugs, and that's it. Bed bugs and scorpions are like literally... I could kill any spider, any cockroach, anything, but bed bugs and spiders are...
I just don't like the crunch. I hate, I can kill a bug all day long. I just hate that, visceral... Especially at the bottom of your shoe. Yeah.
No, the worst is so just over the weekend we had some rain, right? So monsoon season has started. We were going to see a huge influx of bugs, and literally I'm sitting there on my back patio, and these beetles are swarming my back patio.
I have a shop back in my house.
And I'm freaking out. I got the broom swinging around. I freak out as bugs just as anyone else. I just know their behavior, their habit, and I can get rid of them.
You have a relationship.
I feel like when I go out at night, I feel like that cop in prison, because it's all their friends and families see me, and they're coming at me. So I stay inside at night. We do not do night services. But no, I definitely appreciate you guys letting me on here. Yeah, because our biggest thing is we see these people buying homes, and kind of like you said, we hit our peak, and we're still growing though. Commercial reloads are still great out here. We're not seeing a lot of residential, but I was always told no matter what kind of market, if you know what you're doing, it's a buyer and a seller market, right?
And bugs will always be around.
Yeah.
that wraps up what I'm saying is having the proper team. It doesn't matter the real estate agent, the title rep, whomever is in your sphere. If you have the proper team, like we are here, I can guarantee you will not make the wrong mistake.
Well, and proper performance equals proper...
the PPPs.
I don't remember what the...
Proper preparation prevents poor preparation prevents
She did a whole
poor
thing on the
performance.
piece, and she doesn't even remember the old piece.
No,
so I do want to thank you, Adam, for coming on. Ashley Miller, Great American Title, bugscience.com. Just head over there and put your inquiry in. The phone number's there. It goes right to your cell phone.
And actually, so our main number, you can text that. You can text pictures. You can call. It is a 480 local number. I do not have an HOA or an 800 number.
Yeah.
It is local, and I have someone answer the phone Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You can always call. Inspections are always free. So
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us every Monday here at Monday Market 15, the 15-minute show that takes 40 minutes today, whenever Ashley decides to finish. But I want to thank you for joining us. Ashley made a Great American Title. We got Adam Schnepp.
Yes, sir.
From Bug Science.
Thank you.
Rob Morales, RCO Network. We'll catch you here next Monday. See y'all next week.